Hey everyone, it's Gus here from Koehne Chevrolet in Marinette, and today we're going to be going over a Chevy Traverse 2018 Redline Premier Edition. So, here it is. It is blacked out virtually all the way. You have your black bow tie, your 20-inch black gloss wheels. You also have the lettering is actually all in black, except for some red accents that really set it off and make it look really very, very good. They say pretty much completely blacked out all around. It is one that comes with the dual flap, so there's no gas cap on these. One less thing to get lost, you know. You still have your rear vision cameras right up there, and when I take the key fob and double click the lift gate, it has its powered lift gate. So, kind of going right on in here, it is a very, very spacious vehicle. Underneath the floor here, you have a little bit of extra storage. Maybe you don't want to have umbrellas or anything like that rolling around all willy-nilly like in the back there. You of course have your clamps for hooks. My mistake, nets if you want to put a net across. There's the 12-volt charging outlet in back here. And the seats, they actually just fold right on down by pulling the string here, and you can see it folds flat right up there. The other does the same, and your second row seats are also gonna fold flat. But before I show you how they fold flat here, I want to show you what Chevy put in to access the third row seating. So, I'm going to just hop back here, and while I can use my key fob, just for demonstration's sake, I'm going to use the button right here to close the lift gate. So we just tap that, and it closes right on up for us. So it is your keyless entry on here, so you have one of those options that you can lock and unlock. So using this lever right here, we are gonna slide this, and it will actually slide the seat, so the seat can be slid up nice and easy like. For those of you that may be coming from the old model of Traverse, you may know that sometimes the lever on those was very temperamental as far as getting it to slide up to allow access to the back row seating, save for climbing in between the captain's chairs back there. So they solved that, and it works very smooth. And you just slide it right on back. Don't have to pull anything. On the bottom, you have the lever that you can fold these flat with. And you can see right in there. You now have ample storage room. Before we go up front, I just want to point out what we have in the center console. You have your second row heated seats, as well as your rear climate controls. You also have your 120-volt outlet and 2 charge-only USB ports. So, let's kind of go around and see about getting on up front. So right on the door here, we have our locks. We do have memory seating built into this. mirror controls as well as window controls, and we have our controller for our rear lift gate, the max, 3/4, or off. This particular model does have the Bose stereo system. I am looking at this and I feel like I probably would not fit in there, so I'm just going to slide it back a little bit here. You have your lighting controls right up here. Running lamps, headlamps, fog lamps on the side there. So, let's hop in and shut the door here, and we will get started. I'm going to start it right on up. The key fob is in my pocket, so because it is keyless, I just press the brake and hit the engine start button, and it'll start right on up for us. So, the driver information center will, whoops, we've got a memo. Anytime, of course, when you get one of these, you can, by OnStar's high-speed 4G connection, press the blue OnStar button to learn more. I've never heard that message before. But we can clear memos with the little check mark on the D-pad here. Of course, our information center is still run via the D-pad. Trip meters, we can reset those by holding the check still. All this information. One thing I just want to touch on. If in my other videos you've seen me mention that you can pick and choose what you want to appear in the info pages, these would be examples of that. Not all of them come default with like battery voltage and transmission fluid and off-road info set to it. So, like I say, it's all a personal preference based on what you use your vehicle for. Those screens are changeable via the options menu on the bottom here. You still have your audio controls to control your radio, your phone. You have your navigation, which is going to be navigation through your built-in navigation on here, actually. So, I'll get us right back up to info. Just a little personal preference right there. On the other side, while you have your cruise settings right here, you have your heated steering wheel button right there, as well as your forward collision alert warning setting right there. One of the newer features that are coming on these Chevys is the automatic brights. What these will do is they will automatically sense when you have oncoming traffic and turn down the brights so you don't have to worry about remembering to turn them down. They'll do it on their own. Keep an eye out. I will be doing a video in a little bit here about how these, a little more in depth about how this works. So, we have all that. There is the wireless charging pad here for phones that support it. You have your USB ports and your auxiliary ports right up here, as well as a 12 volt. The air system will look very similar to your systems like you'd see in the Equinox. It will be, you have your defrost. You can set the air to go anywhere you want it. You have your fan speeds. I'm just going to keep it on those two because I have the cooled seats going right now. So, like I've mentioned before, always keep the lower air going when you have the cooled seats going, because that's really going to bring up the air from how I can kind of show you. The air kind of gets sucked in for the cool seats from underneath, and it gets vented up through the seat. So, having the air flowing to the feet ensures maximum airflow for your seating. You have your AC option here, as well as your sync option, and when you have over here is your heated seat option. So both driver and passengers have their heated and cooled seats. One of my favorite features up here is the little, I call it the secret agent compartment. You just hit this button right here and it'll slide right on up. What's new with the 18 Traverse is that the screen is still workable while it's up. It used to be this would go black until you closed it. But in here you have a nice little storage area as well as a USB port. So we'll close that right on up. You have your shifter here, down here, as well as your plus and minus for the low gear option. You have your parking brake, your lane keep assist to turn that on and off. You have your traction control to turn that off. And you have your drive mode selector right here. So, two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, tow haul mode, things like that are around that. And you just operate that by turning the little dial around that, and it'll switch it up for you. So, right in here you have a nice little storage area, as well as it goes a little bit deeper, and you can see the vehicle's lockbox down there right now. And in the glove compartment you have your manuals, your that's a front bracket for a license plate in there right now. But yeah, your hazard lights are going to be right here, so we hit that and on they come. I'm going to hit home here. You do have built-in navigation on this vehicle, so that's nice because you can just go into here and enter your destination, whether by address, point of interest, intersection, and it'll bring you right to there, guiding you all along the way. Hit the little home button here. You also have built-in weather as well as your built-in traffic. You can control the rear climate from this screen right here by tapping on this, and it will give you the options. You can either lock out the rear climate by tapping over here, or you can sync the rear climate to be the same as the front climate. I have my front climate on low right now because I'm rather warm in here. We're just gonna use the little home button here, and I'm gonna open up the camera. You have your front view option right there, as well as you can have your rear view, and you can also have your turn on or off your guidance lines. Right here you have your 360 view of the vehicle, and where that is actually coming from is not actually a satellite. You have the view cameras. Come with me. You have the cameras located right underneath the mirrors here on either side. You also have your rear vision camera feeding into that, and you have a camera up front that the vehicle's camera system will just merge the images into one 360 bird's eye view. So that's a really neat feature. Lets you have an accurate assessment of exactly what is all directly around you. So you still have your shop that you can get apps like the Weather Channel, things of that nature. And you of course still have your built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi hotspot through the OnStar. So moving on up, you have your OnStar controls right here, as well as your lighting controls. Your universal home remote is right here. So you can pair your garage door opener so you don't have to have it hanging on your visor over here. And you have your moonroof options right here, either to tilt it or to slide it. I am going to slide it on open, and that is very bright, so we are going to abort mission slide it on open. But that is there, and you also have your moonroof in the second row, so both rows get a quality view of the either day or night sky. Makes it very, very stunning in this vehicle. So that pretty much wraps it up for this Chevy Traverse Redline Premier Edition. As always, I hope you found this video both entertaining and informative. And again, as always, from all of us here at Koehne Chevrolet, have a great day and drive safely.